Observe closely what is happening around you at this very moment. If you have felt that time has accelerated in an inexplicable way, or that the structures of the world as we knew them seem to be under an invisible and constant pressure, know that you are not imagining it. The Galactic Federation has requested this emergency transmission to confirm what many of you already sensed in your hearts. Protocol 2026 is no longer a promise for the future or a distant timeline, it has already begun. The new rules of Earth have been officially issued by the Federation's governance, and the active phase of the Galactic Plan is in full swing. The green light has been given. Imagine that an old operating system, which governed this planet for millennia through fear and separation, has finally been unplugged. What you see in the world today is the collapse of the emergency generators of that old matrix. This is the moment of proclamation. The Galactic Federation is now overlaying a new light architecture upon the Earth. The Galactic Plan is not something that will come to save you, but rather an infrastructure of sovereignty that requires your conscious participation. The signal has been issued from the monitoring fleets. The final transition to the new Earth has moved from the preparation phase into full execution. Prepare yourselves, for from now on, nothing will be as it was before. To understand the magnitude of what is occurring, we must define what Protocol New Earth is, technically speaking, from the perspective of the Galactic Federation. Many imagine the transition as just a mystical event, but for our fleets, it is a high-precision quantum engineering operation. Imagine Earth as an old computer trying to run heavy, modern software, the system would crash. Protocol New Earth is the installation of a new vibrational motherboard on the planet. This protocol consists of three fundamental technical pillars. The first is the recalibration of the magnetic grid. The Federation is adjusting the energy entry points on the planet so that high-frequency light from the central sun can flow without burning out human biological circuits. The second pillar is the dissolution of the veil of duality. The new rules prevent energy sent by the source from being fragmented into good or bad, us versus them. From now on, the incoming energy is purely unitary. The third pillar is the sovereignty interface. This protocol establishes that human consciousness now has priority over any artificial intelligence or external control system. Technically, this means your DNA is being unlocked to recognize commands coming from your own I am presence, rather than sub-octave subliminal frequencies. Protocol New Earth is not a suggestion, it is the new physical and spiritual foundation where the Federation is building the civilization of tomorrow. To understand this is to understand that you are no longer subject to the laws of third-dimensional physics, you are operating under galactic light physics. Within the technical guidelines of the Galactic Federation, the transition to the new Earth requires what we call the phase of harmonization of matter. This is where the protocols known on the surface as Gesara and Nesara come into play. However, it is essential that you understand that, for the Federation, these are not just financial agreements or human political decrees, they are the direct application of universal laws of abundance upon the dense plane. The Federation understands that it is impossible for a human being to sustain a fifth-dimensional consciousness while their biological body is under constant stress from survival, artificial debt, and programmed scarcity. The new rules establish that the time of slavery through labor and debt has come to an end. The quantum financial system, which is already operating in parallel on the Federation's light servers, is immune to any attempt at manipulation or corruption. This system recognizes your vibrational signature. It understands that the wealth of Earth belongs to the human collective and not to an isolated elite. Protocol 2026 provides for the return of resources diverted for millennia, allowing humanity to finally have the time and energy to focus on its spiritual and creative purpose. But beware, the Federation issues an important warning regarding the law of resonance. The new financial system is based on integrity. If you attempt to access the abundance of the new earth while carrying the greed mentality or the fear of scarcity from the old system, you will create a block in your own timeline. Gesara and Nesara are the side effects of a frequency shift. Material abundance is the reflection of your spiritual sovereignty. By accepting Protocol 2026, you are authorizing the Federation to clear the karmic and financial debt contracts that bound your soul to the old matrix. The new Earth economy is not based on accumulation, but on the constant flow of light and resources for the good of all. This is the crucial moment of our transmission. The Galactic Federation operates under the principle of free will, which means this protocol only becomes fully active in your individual reality when you issue your command of acceptance. It is not enough to listen, it is necessary to anchor. By performing this decree, you are formally informing the monitoring fleets and your own quantum field that you no longer recognize the jurisdiction of the old control system. You are stepping out of the shadows of the old matrix and entering under the protection and governance of the laws of light. Imagine that you are signing, with your own vibration, a treaty of peace and sovereignty. Feel the weight of old obligations, guilt, and limitation contracts being lifted from your back this very second. The Federation is ready to act in your life, but it needs your voice. Write now in the comments to seal this moment and anchor this frequency in the physical plane. I align with the new rules of Earth. As you type these words, take a deep breath and feel the Galactic Federation's energy surrounding your environment. You have just taken the first official step out of the Earth quarantine. You are now a citizen under the tutelage of the Galactic Plan. We now enter the analysis of Phase 1 of Protocol 2026, Controlled Deconstruction. Many of you look at the global stage and feel fear as you see millennia-old institutions swaying and systems that seemed infallible beginning to crack. The Galactic Federation wants you to understand that this is not an error or a sign of the light's defeat. On the contrary, it is the direct result of the application of the new rules. For the new Earth to be anchored, the pillars of the old control matrix must be removed. Imagine a condemned building. You cannot build a palace on rotten foundations. The Federation is deactivating the collective mind control frequencies that kept humanity in a state of deep sleep. As these frequencies are removed, people begin to wake up and question reality, which generates natural resistance from those who still cling to power. The new rules prevent manipulation and lies from remaining hidden. Under Protocol 2026, everything that is inauthentic is forced to rise to the surface to be transmuted. Do not fear the apparent chaos in politics, economy, or media. What you are seeing is the process of weaning humanity from a parasitic system. The Galactic Federation is monitoring every event to ensure the transition occurs within planetary safety limits. The old system no longer has its own energy, it is merely exhausting what remains in its reserve tanks. Stay in the center of your being and watch the fall of the old world with the serenity of someone who knows the new is already here. Following the deconstruction phase, we enter the most fascinating pillar of Protocol 2026, the biological restoration phase. The new rules establish that physical suffering and premature aging, caused by the toxicity of the old matrix, are no longer permitted in Earth's new octave. The Galactic Federation is now authorized to introduce technologies that have been under custody for decades, waiting for the planetary frequency to be safe enough for their operation. We are speaking of quantum medicine systems and zero-point energy. Under the new protocol, healing will no longer be based on suppressing symptoms through chemical substances, but on recalibrating the genetic code. Human DNA is, by nature, a receiver of light, but it has been disconnected and bombarded by dissonant frequencies. The technologies that the Federation is bringing, and that will begin to emerge through inspired inventors and direct contacts, work through resonance. They remind your cells of their original and perfect form. Deep cellular regeneration systems, which eliminate chronic diseases and reverse tissue damage, are already being prepared for mass distribution as financial control systems fall. Furthermore, Phase 2 includes the release of free energy. The Federation understands that energy is the lifeblood of civilization. The new rules prohibit the monetization of the sun, the wind, or the Earth's magnetic field. Protocol 2026 ensures that every human being has access to clean and unlimited energy sources, which will completely change the architecture of our cities and the way we live. Imagine a world where there are no bills to pay and where your body heals while you sleep, bathed in frequencies of diamantine light. This is the technical promise of the Galactic Federation for those who have chosen to vibrate in the new Earth. At this very moment, as you watch this transmission, thousands of Galactic Federation ships are positioned at strategic points in your ionosphere and in stationary orbits over the planet's major tectonic faults. Under the guidelines of Protocol 2026, our role is not just to observe, but to act as frequency stabilizers. Earth is undergoing a vibrational birth, and as in any birth, there are intense physical pressures. Our fleets use harmonic beam technology to smooth the movement of tectonic plates and balance the magnetic field, ensuring that Earth's quantum leap does not result in global catastrophes. The new rules establish that the transition must be as smooth as possible for the conscious biological population. Beyond physical support, we are emitting what we call stability codes through the network of natural and artificial satellites. These codes are picked up by your heart and nervous system, helping you maintain emotional balance while the outside world seems to sway. If you felt a sudden peace amidst the chaos, or a sense of being held without explanation, you are tuning into the Federation's protection field. We are not here to intervene in your free will, but to ensure that the stage where you exercise that will remain stable during the Great Shift. We have reached a point of practical activation in our transmission. The Galactic Federation proclaims that scarcity was never a natural condition of Earth, but a rule imposed by those who wish to control humanity through survival. Today, under Protocol 2026, that rule is officially revoked. However, abundance in the new Earth is not something you passively receive, it is something you claim by aligning your frequency with the inexhaustible source of life. At this moment, the fleets are monitoring this energy field. By issuing this decree, you are authorizing the dissolution of all vows of poverty, karmic debt contracts, and mental limitations that were imposed on your lineage for generations. You are declaring to the universe that you are ready to manage new Earth resources with integrity, wisdom, and generosity. You are assuming your role as a legitimate heir to the riches of this planet and the galactic technologies to come. Feel this authority growing in your chest. Write now in the comments to register your financial and spiritual sovereignty. I claim my heritage of abundance. As you write, visualize the chains of the old economy breaking. You are no longer asking for permission to prosper. Under the Federation's protocol, prosperity is your natural state. The flow is open. Living under Protocol 2026 requires more than just accepting new technologies or a new financial system. It requires a radical shift in how you operate as a consciousness. The Galactic Federation is very clear about this. The new rules are based on the law of resonance and transparency. In the old system, it was possible to hide intentions, manipulate through words, and maintain a public facade while acting dissonantly in private. On the new Earth, this duality has no physical sustainment. As the Federation's frequencies saturate the atmosphere, your energetic field, your aura, becomes an open book. Integrity becomes the only real currency. Being a New Earth citizen means that your actions, thoughts, and feelings must be in perfect alignment. If you seek abundance but maintain the desire to compete or harm another, Protocol 2026 simply will not translate your intention into reality. The planet's new operating system is self-adjusting, it responds to the purity of the heart. The Federation suggests that you begin practicing conscious self-sovereignty. This means not waiting for external orders, but acting in accordance with the greater good. Where there was once fear of punishment, there must now be the joy of collaboration. Where there was secrecy, there must now be truth. You are being trained now to interact with galactic civilizations that communicate through telepathy and deep empathy. For them, a lie is a noise frequency that is impossible to ignore. Therefore, cultivating your integrity today is your greatest investment to secure your place in the light communities that are forming. The New Earth is not a place you go to, it is a state of being that you emanate. We are approaching a critical milestone in the Protocol 2026 chronology, the divergence point of timelines. For the Galactic Federation, this is known as the Great Divider. Imagine that Earth was traveling on a single railroad track that now bifurcates. The new rules have created a frequency so high that the old control matrix can no longer hold on to it. The 2026 event horizon marks the moment when these two realities become mutually exclusive. Those who chose to vibrate in the frequency of sovereignty, peace, and integrity are being pulled by the gravitational force of the fifth dimension. Meanwhile, those who insist on operating under the old rules of fear, victimhood, and tyranny will remain on a third-dimensional timeline that will continue to collapse until its complete dissolution. This is not about judgment, but about vibrational physics. The Federation is ensuring that every soul has the opportunity to choose its destiny. Protocol 2026 is the portal, but your emotional and mental state is the key that decides which door you will pass through. The separation is happening now, in the silence of your daily choices. At this point in our transmission, the Galactic Federation asks you to lower your guards and allow these words to reach the very core of your being. We know that the journey here has not been easy. Every starseed incarnated on Earth has gone through cycles of deep isolation, doubt, and, at times, a weariness that seemed unbearable. For millennia, you operated in dense territory, forgotten of your true lineage and your original strength. But Protocol 2026 brings with it the end of this dark night of the planetary soul. The message from your stellar family to you today is one of deep recognition and welcoming. We monitored every tear you shed in silence and every time you chose the light, even when the world around you seemed to be plunged into darkness. You are no longer alone. The spiritual quarantine has been revoked. As the new rules settle in, our presence will cease to be something you only feel in meditation to become a tangible reality. We are your brothers, your mentors, and your journey companions awaiting the moment of the great reunion. Feel now this frequency of unconditional love that the fleets are emanating. This welcome is your fuel for the final steps of this transition. The Federation honors your courage in being the pioneer of the new Earth. The galactic plan is only possible because you agreed to be the anchor of this light on the surface. Breathe in this certainty: you are loved, you are seen, and you are finally coming home, even as you keep your feet on the sacred soil of the renewed Earth. The time of separation has ended. We have reached the peak of this transmission and the closing of the Protocol 2026 activation. From this moment forward, the information shared is no longer just data in your mind, but active codes within your DNA and your vibrational field. The Galactic Federation now seals this connection, but before we conclude, it is necessary for you to issue the final seal of your authority. You are not a follower, you are not a passive observer, you are the executor of this plan within the density of matter. This is the decree of your freedom and your sovereign power. By uttering these words, you declare to the fleet command and to all planetary consciousness that you have taken control of your destiny under the new rules. Right now, with all the conviction of your spirit, to seal your definitive activation, I am part of the plan. My light is my law. Feel the immediate validation of the Galactic Federation pulsing through every cell of your body. The portal has been crossed. You now walk as a living lighthouse of the new Earth. The plan is fulfilled within you. Go in the peace and strength of the Confederation. Transmission ended.